Hi everybody, good evening. Today I am reacting to a video content produced by Mr. Madan Gowri under the title Life After She Had Left. So, why am I making this video? Because it is imperative for me to explain certain very important insights with reference to whatever content Mr. Madan Gowri had made. Well, without any further ado, let me just start off. Now, the content produced by Mr. Madan Gowri starts off with a story. He says that there was this boy who was raised by his parents who were very poor, but the boy was educated in a very good school, which was beyond the capacity of the parents. And the school was an elite school, and during the time of his secondary education, the boy comes across a girl and he falls in love with her, and both of them are now coupled up, and then they proceed on to write their board examination, and they graduate with flying colors, and then they join two other universities, but the love is still flourishing. And then what happens when time comes for the boy to take up the campus interview? He qualifies the campus interview with flying colors and gets into a very good top-notch company. But the girl was not able to get into any such companies of repute. So the girl joins a mediocre company, but the boy, unwilling to let go the girl, decides not to join that top-notch company and follows the girl so that he can be in close proximity to the girl. Now, the story that Mr. Madan Gowri presents here seems to be resonating to some of the popular themes. Say, for example, a popular movie called Dune. And of course, it has got a further composition from Alagal Oyudalai, and then Valve Mayam, and then followed by the movie Moonram Pirai. So, Mr. Madan Gowri effectively composes all these four movies and presents the story. Well, of course, I have not completed the story. So what happens, the boy coming back, the boy lets this offer go by and he works in close proximity with this girl. And it so happens that everybody presume and describe their love affair to be the best, according to Mr. Madan Gowri. Continuing on, there comes a stage where this boy is given an offshore project, right, to attend to. So he takes up the project to satisfy the company. He heads forth to this site. Apparently, loneliness strikes this boy, and so he wants to check on the girl. He comes back catching the next flight, according to the story, and then silently he has some flowers for this girl, and then he opens the door. To cut the long story short, he finds this girl in the company of another boy, another man, on his bed. So, in his absence, this girl has put someone in his place, in his absence. So that is basically just to say that this girl was caught cheating. The reason that the girl cites is because the girl did not get care and affection. Now this is really funny. You know why it's funny? The very first place this boy did not leave this girl and joined this multinational corporation after he had graduated really shows that this boy had a lot of care and affection. But to show that, to cite that as a reason, it's really funny. It's really funny to accept that the girl cites care and affection to be the reason for cheating. And then the boy goes into a state of panic mode because he finds this girl sleeping with this guy. So he is shocked and he's lost. So he goes into a state of drinking. So he starts to drink so much that he becomes an addict. He becomes an alcoholic. Now, because of this, he loses his job, and naturally, alcoholics will not be tolerated in the company. So he is now in a very pathetic situation because he lost his lady love, he lost his job. Now he is sinking down. And then Mr. Madan Gowri says, suddenly he comes across this guy, some old man who's rearing tortoise, and he says that he gives some example, his own illustration, saying that there are no good people, no bad people, everybody are equal. And then because of that, this boy gets his mind changed, and so he heads out saying that, okay, from henceforth onwards, I'm going to be focusing on my life, focusing on my career. And then he starts his new life, and he goes back to the same company which he forsaked at the first instance for the sake of this girl. And then he finds a job, and the company is happy to take him on. And then he gets promoted, and he becomes the CEO of the same company, the same top-notch company. You know what? Honestly saying, and then let me conclude what Mr. Madan Gowri mentioned. He says, in life there are no good people, no bad people, no heroes and no villains. Everybody are equal. The biggest joke is he gives an insinuated thought that it is okay, first and foremost, to fall in love when you are in high school or senior secondary school. And then he gives a plot in such a way that both of them graduate with flying colors and then join great universities. Now, good people, let me give you a small illustration, or in other words, let me give you the following points. It is imperative to understand sex is the greatest of emotions. Know that first. Which is largely responsible for destroying many lives. Sex. The emotion of sex. Because people do not know how to handle it. Specifically when you are in high school, when you are in secondary school, your mother and father are investing their blood and sweat and hard work into you, expecting you to study. And you here now, instead of putting your focus on your education, you betray your mother, you betray your father, you chop their legs off, and then you fall in love with this so-called girl. I'm not talking on anyone's behalf. This goes the same. The same goes for the girl also. It is highly unimaginable. It is impossible for high school lovers to qualify with the best of the best grades in the board examination as claimed by Mr. Madan. Impossible. You know why? I tell you the reason. If you want to crack a math problem, you have to think in multi-dimensions. A simple math problem. So the problem would not be easily cracked. If you are going to have somebody in your mind and expecting that you can crack, it's impossible. It's not possible. In other words, if you wish to get distinction in a board examination, your focus 200% should be in cracking the examination. You can't be falling in love and saying this is my crush. Exactly, the very word crush means what? You're getting crushed. I made another video on illustrating crush. You have to just go and see it, how the video is made. I've clearly indicated to you what does it mean to get fallen crush. Coming back to the point what I'm just mentioning to you. If you were to fall in love during your secondary school time or during your time when you have to stay focused in education, you're done. There's no way that you can regroup yourself because your emotion will take control of you. So it will not let you to even decide in a proper manner. Your element of decision making is lost. It's done. So to say that you can qualify, these two people are qualifying their examination with flying colors and then joining great universities, unimaginable. It's just not possible. It wouldn't happen. It would never happen. And then then Mr. Madan Gowri says that the boy was accepted by a top company in the caliber of Google. Well, if it is really a top company, then you have to be the best of the best. They are not going to be opening their doors just for any Tom, Dick and Harry. And they will see your grades. They will see your ability to communicate. They will see your ability to problem solve situations. How are you going to prove yourself? They want to know how well your ability to think outside the box materializes. There are so many parameters. You have to go. Some of the interview videos are presented on the social media. You got to go check out what are the questions they expect you all to answer. If you really wanted to get into some of these top-notch companies, it requires pure concentration, pure staying focused. And if you are going to giving away your energy, giving away your emotions to love and all sort of crushes like this is impossible. Leave alone getting into a top-notch company, your ability to communicate. How are you going to learn the skill of communication? I just heard in an interview by this guy. He says he is the CEO of a big company. He says that 95% of the university graduates who are coming out, they do not know how to communicate properly. In fact, he says they don't even know how to shake hands in a proper manner. So that is the situation. So being a success is altogether a different ball game. If you want to be successful, you have to sacrifice. So there's no short roads or no shortcuts for success. So success is like that. So I can't just accept that this man, after being in love with this girl, can get into a top company. You know what's the irony? He gets into a top company, but the girl cannot get into a top company. So that itself shows that there is some big snag between the two. Leave alone on the other, just for taking the story on the base of its merit, last case scenario, or the worst case scenario. So the point what I'm trying to say here is, if you want to have a great career, then you have to stay focused in your education. You can't. There is a saying in the English language: you cannot blow and suck all at the same time. Now, coming back, why did the girl cheat? Girl says this man doesn't give care and attention. Can you tell me does that make sense? Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense at all. So even if I were to take this statement based on the worst case scenario, then their love fades away. Their love has faded, right? The so-called the crush has faded. They say the crush lasts only for 30 days or something like that, 3 months duration. After that, crush and infatuation, school love and high school love, everything vanishes. So, but the effect is everlasting. Mr. Madan Gowri says that this man was able to regroup himself and then go to the same company and ask for employment or apply for employment. Well, let me tell you one thing. Once you're fired, actually Mr. Madan Gowri clearly says he loses the first job because of alcoholic habits. If you were fired from a company, from a corporation, the chances of you getting absorbed by another corporation is highly remote, because they would want a reference. Every company, before they could take in a candidate, they would want to have a good solid recommendation. They would want to know what this person is, right? So simply because he tried and this company already gave him an offer when he was in his university days, he is happy to take him in. Impossible. You know why? The way in which they select on campus interview is totally different. In other words, the purpose for which students are selected on campus interview is totally different than from the purpose in which a normal candidate is selected in a corporation. You follow what I'm saying? When you are absorbed in during campus interview, your process, the procedure, or the objective for which you are heading into a company is totally different, right? You have to get that point clear. So just because somebody was offered a campus recruitment, or just because somebody was offered a job while they were in school, while they were in their university, there is no surety that the same company would offer them the same job. In most cases, they wouldn't. You know why? Already this person has declined that offer. So why would they consider this person on the second case, on the second chance? Even if at all they are considering, due to certain issues, he should be able to justify it. Why he did not take the job in the first place, right? That justification has to be provided. That has to be convincing to the HR. So the hiring manager should accept that explanation. And above all, reference. The reference letter would be of vital importance. It will be indispensable. Without the reference, they are not going to be taking in this person, right? So definitely, the first company would say that this man was an alcoholic. So having said that, well, I'm not here to justify the story. My point is, while pursuing your education, if you were to get into infatuation, get into crush, fall in love, you know why they say fall in love? You're falling, right? You're done. You're on the floor. So if you do that, it's highly unlikely. In other words, your career is you're putting a full stop to your career. That's all. There's no word. I've got no words to define that. Mr. Madan Gowri mentions that there are no heroes, there are no villains, and nobody is bad and nobody is good. What sort of philosophy is he talking? Nobody is bad. If that philosophy is what on which the world is functioning, there wouldn't be any judiciary system at all. The categorization is not there at all. So you have no differentiation. That means everything is good. There's no bad, nothing is bad. So that is purely foolishness. No matter what justification the individual offers, it's imperative to understand there is a huge difference in being emotionally hurt and being bodily hurt. If you're hurt physically, then it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of time that your body will automatically set the healing process in tune. But emotionally hurt, that's the reason people go into a state of depression. Many people who fall in love and who lose their love, many people who suffer love failures, both boys and girls who suffer love failures, it's impossible for them to regroup. It'll take ages. The element of this person coming back again, restarting his life, possibility is zero. I'm not even giving you a probability, I'm giving you a possibility. It's not possible at all. If your objective is to enrich your life, do something for your mom and dad, and better the family, then you have to stay focused in your objectives, stay focused in your school, not just drift away with all this infatuation. And of course, Mr. Madan Gowri always says, okay, you can do this, you can do that, you can fall in love and have this crush, and she will dump you, and then she will go out with another guy, but you need to regroup. You can easily give up your smoking habits, you can easily give up your alcoholic habit. It's all assumption. Once you get into this habit of drinking and smoking, you're done. It's not easy to come out of all these things. Any habits, any usage of narcotics or things like that, it's easy to say. Why am I taking so much pain in making this content? Just because most boys are falling into it. Most men or most young men, young adults, they don't know the difference between left and right. They don't know what it means to get. They don't know what it means to get a secure job. Getting jobs these days is not easy. Remember that, because corporations now have a wide range of choices. They have a wide range of choices. It's not that you are the most unique person. They want the best. Remember that. And 70% of all university degrees, 70% of all university degrees are received by girls. Remember that. So, if you were to think, okay, mommy and daddy are at home and I'm here with my motorbike and I can always have a great time with this girl, with my crush. It's the story which Mr. Madan Gowri mentioned. It has a different twist altogether. You follow me. But anyway, I've got no time to talk about that twist. What I can tell you is, stay focused, stay in school. Thank your parents, because they are investing in you. No one will invest in you. Remember that. Who has got the confidence to invest in some person? You might write 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 letters asking for scholarships or asking for funding. They would not even bother to look up further than your first name. More than that, the opening sentences. How do you open the sentence? I'm just telling you reality, because do you have a story? That's what they want to know. Do you have a story to tell about yourself? What are your accomplishments? What are your achievements? So, my final point is, if you are at school, if you have the privilege of entering a school system, entering a university system, take every opportunity to better yourself. Become a person that corporations would want to hire you. People always say they are not able to find jobs. No, it's not that they are not able to find jobs. It's just that they are not suitably equipped to meet the job specification that these corporations offer. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you all, and like, comment, and ask me some questions if you got. And take care.